Good day, critters. Welcome back to the channel. Last week we reacted to Your Turn to Roll. This week we're on to the making of Your Turn to Roll. So I promised you it was coming. I can't wait to get into this. You guys know how I like my behind the scenes stuff, so this will be fun. First off, Amy, you corrected me in the comment section of last video. I called you Amy, I think, but you corrected me, so we got it right. From now on, you're Amy. You guys filled me in on some of my questions. You let me know who apparently you guys had already let me know while I was reacting to the episodes who Tiberius was, or at least his voice actor. You guys reiterated again, we don't talk about him. He's basically the Voldemort of Vox Machina, of Critical Role. So I'm not going to talk about him until we get to reacting to the campaign of season 1 or campaign 1. So I don't even know. I didn't ask you guys if because he was kicked out of the group, I don't even know if those episodes are still up on the channel. So I guess we'll see once we get into it. We're getting into the making of this. I see one video on the edge here. It says how Travis proposed to Laura, and it's really intriguing me, but it says it's in campaign 3, so I'm gonna hold off to watch that. But we gonna get straight into this one because I'm excited. And also, you guys let me know, Greenface on the shelf is a character from campaign 2, Travis's character, I believe, from his name is F Ford or something like that, I don't know. And then you guys let me know that Trinket was a gift from one of you guys, and eventually they got so many gifts that they had to create Christmas. So I'm gonna react to some of those videos too, but you guys know we got a lot. Exandria Unlimited is coming. We're gonna start that next week, and I think today I might actually react to the trailer for that just to get a taste or a feel of what that's gonna be like. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into this reaction, the making of Your Turn to Roll.
They got magic and flair, they got falchions and cunning, they don't see over there, there's a monster and cunning.
I'm upset at myself I didn't recognize her voice. You know what? Did I ask you guys? I don't think I did. I was gonna ask who was singing. I know they're voice actors and talented, but I didn't know they were actually singing the song.
I'm Sam Riegel.
I assumed it was an actual
cast member
singer.
of Critical Role, and I wrote the theme song for the Legend of Vox Machina animated series.
Of course.
Actually, the way that happened was me asking Sam, "Hey, you made that jingle for D&D Beyond that was so incredible. Do you have any other, stuff flying around in your brain?" And he sent me back an a cappella version of the song that he recorded one night at 11:30 after his kids went to bed, and it blew my mind.
Oh, he did it too? I want to hear his
Here's
version.
an idea. Very basic. The beat is like
Oh my God, from like the ground up. He didn't even have like an instrumental yet.
The vocals are something like, "The adventure begins. They will always beside you."
Taking my initial demo and
exactly
turning
like
it
that.
into
I love
like
it.
a really cool song, which it is. It took a while actually. We needed real instruments because the first demo was just me singing at an iPhone. So we turned to our friend Jason Charles Miller, who did the original composition of the original theme song.
Well, it's funny because Sam called me and he said, "Hey, I took your theme and I wrote lyrics to it and I put a melody over top of it." And I was like, "Okay, that's interesting. Let me hear this." And he sent me this tape of him just going like, roll, roll, critical, critical, like just him all a cappella over top of it. But when I heard it, I said, oh, "Okay, cool. Then we can add this here, and we can do that there, and we can put the original melody back in here." And then we had fun just going back and forth with it.
Then we had even more players play on it. So we got a violinist named Cole McGinnis, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, to do violins for it. And we did some more drum work. We got my brother-in-law, Peter Habib, of the producing duo Mr. Fantastic.
There's so many pieces that go into this, but it seems like they just instantly knew what they wanted to do and it came together really quick.
And then when it came time to do vocals, we had a bunch of different passes, and we were like, you know what, we really need the ladies on this. It would sound incredible if Ashley and Laura would sing on it.
Travis was the one that actually asked me if I would be down to sing it, and I, of course, was very nervous, but it was fun. And I only got a little awkward when I was in the booth. No big deal, because like Travis was sitting right there, and like
she looked so comfortable in there when she was singing at first.
I get really uncomfortable if like Travis is there too.
We sent a feeler out to our fantastic friends over at Out Loud Audio. The amazing Mark Kondracki was kind enough to give us some studio time to let us record that, one of the bigger spaces. And I think Ronan was just born, so Laura was in there holding little baby Ronan while she was laying down those sick vocals.
Oh, that's his son's name?
On the song.
I don't even remember how old he was. I think he was only like, I want to say like 2 months old, maybe, when we were recording it. I think he was younger.
It figures.
And he started crying. When
I didn't even notice that. Was she
We
holding
only
him
had
in the first
studio
scene?
for like an hour, and it just had to. It worked out that.
Is
that
he
Laura
in the
had to
actual
keep the
song?
baby
I don't know if I
while
noticed
she
it.
was singing the song.
What's weird is I think those were the takes that we ended up using for the song, because for some reason, like, focusing on that made it way more comfortable to actually do the singing.
I don't know if
nervous.
any suckling sounds made it onto the track.
That's what I was gonna ask. I didn't want to say it.
When we were recording it, Sam kept going,
Who's Urian?
more
by the
rock
way?
and roll,
The little,
more rock and roll,
toy
goes
figure.
over the top as you could think, because I guess I'm used to singing like nicer sounding, sweeter sounding, and Sam wanted it like I want grit. And any takes we did like that, those are the ones they used. It's fun.
And then when Ashley recorded, she came over to my house, actually. Which
She
is a
still
much
seems so
smaller booth,
humble
and
talking about it.
She laid down her
She killed
vocals
it,
late
though.
at night after she had been doing a video game job all day, I think. She must have been exhausted.
Ashley seems like she would be a lot more comfortable. She's got more of a bubbly personality,
Her and
which is saying a lot because Laura's personality
Yeah,
is bubbly
Sam,
in itself.
when we were talking about the roles and the criticals, he was like, hey man, I pitched my voice down. You got a deep voice. Do you want to go in and do it? And I was like, no, I love it the way it is. He's like, nah, come on, let's really go in there. So my contribution to the piece was actually going into the booth and bouncing as I did it, going, roll, roll, and trying to sound as
Little shoulder
tough
bob.
and
He really got
determined as
into
I
it.
could, even though I could see all of their laughing faces as I bounced up and down like a little baby.
I was going for like a little bit of a retro vibe for the lyrics. I knew that one of the motifs we were going to try to do was just sort of like, the chance of it all, like taking a chance, putting the fate in your own hands, like deciding your fate. Like that's
Yeah, and one of you guys did mention the specific term retro, so that I guess that's where the X-Men thing comes into play a little bit, even though that's the instrumental.
So you just kind of have to go for it.
I think the thing that sticks out the most is the roll the dice part of it, because Vex was always one to take chances. I don't know. Daggers and Cunning is pretty freaking cool that we took it there. Just that little change, that made me pretty happy.
I think the lyrics for Your Turn to Roll embody really sort of the spirit of our early home game, which is like a bunch of friends
Oh my
getting
goodness,
together.
Travis looks so
being nerdy
young
as hell, rolling some
in that
dice,
shot.
not
I know
really
this is
caring
the
what comes out of your
initial
mouth or
home
who's watching
when they started,
or,
but
or what other people think of you. You're
He-
going to
he
take
looks
on
the most
brave,
different to me.
courageous personas, try and right wrongs or maybe cause wrongs, depending on what your character is.
and probably Percy's actor too. I'm blanking on his name, and I'm gonna get them all down.
It's an adventuring party for a reason, right?
Oh, that brings me back to the actual animation for that was great, by the way. I loved it. All the behind the scenes stuff, just hearing them talk, I loved it. But that shot right there reminded me, you guys let me know, it reminded me of a few shots from the animation. You told me that the king and princess on the throne that I initially thought was, in the reaction I thought was Silas and Delilah. You let me know that was Uriel and his wife. So you corrected me on that, which I appreciate, because I would have been totally confused. It just threw me off just because in the animation he ended up being a different ethnicity. So that just threw me off for a second. Going back to this, I can't wait to watch this, specifically the start of the campaign. And this says it's from 2014. They all look young. Liam's got a bunch of hair on his head, and they just look like they're having a good time. I can't imagine initially starting this out not exactly knowing where it's going, just doing it for fun. And just to be honest, having the wherewithal or the thought to just set up a camera and record it. You guys even mentioned that in the comment section that fans, I'm assuming it was at this point when they first started to catch fire a little bit, even were sending them like cameras and microphones to improve like the quality of the streams, since that was kind of like a sticking point when they first started off, which is understandable. But I'm looking forward to seeing all that stuff. Again, I'm looking in the background. I see this Urian, and it looks like a Critical Role action figure. So I'm guessing it's probably one of the characters from one of the campaigns. I don't know why, but he reminds me of, like, he's got like the bow tie. It looks like, and glasses. He reminds me of like maybe a Gilmore type character from another campaign. So we'll see how that or who that becomes, or when I actually notice him in the campaigns. I guess I'll just have to look for his name because I won't actually see him until they animate it. But again, seeing not only Scanlan recording the audio to this song on his iPhone and just sending it straight to Travis, and the fact that it came together so quick. Like, I don't know, maybe I missed it, but I don't think they mentioned like a timeline of how long from him sending that on his iPhone to Travis, then bringing it to the producer, the violinist, and all the moving pieces, how long it actually took to make this. But it sounds like he knew exactly what he wanted. He put it together and they made it happen pretty quickly. So that's cool to see, just like the beginning stages of that. I don't know if that recording of when, I don't know if that was specifically for this video, or if that was something Travis like, oh, this could be something big, and he recorded it as he was first listening to the song. So that's fun thing to think about. Again, going back to Laura and Ashley, they seemed like I knew the voices sounded familiar, but I didn't think it was them because the vocals in the song were so good. I guess the producer and stuff like that has a role to play in it, but they did a great job with it. I would have never known that it was their first time, or at least Laura's. I don't know if Ashley had any experience singing on any other projects. I know she's done other projects, obviously, other voice work, but I don't know if singing was involved at all. The fact that Laura was holding the baby during recordings is another funny tidbit. I'm gonna I'm gonna have to go back and listen if I can hear like baby crying in the background. I doubt it, but that would be fun. What was this producer's name, or composer's name? Excuse me, Jason Charles Miller. Critical Role theme. I want to look into him and to see exactly what else he's responsible for. I don't know if he's into any other animation themes, or has any experience with other like big name animation themes. But he knows what he's doing. Like, when they came to him to talk, he right away, as soon as he said the details that Scanlan gave him, he instantly gave him like advice, and he knew which direction he wanted to go into with it. So that was cool. Was there anything else in this that I wanted to talk about? I don't think so. And I just think it's really cool, the fact that they're so, I don't know, I guess you could say humble and transparent, especially with the way they feel towards the game. Like, Laura was pretty straightforward in saying that she was pretty nervous recording the song, and the fact that she did it anyway for the sake of probably the critters and just the overall enjoyment, and for the series to be successful. The fact she was willing to put herself out there along with Ashley. I think Ashley was a little bit more confident or comfortable, but I think that it's cool that she recorded it and spoke about it in this video. Even with Travis a little bit, it seems like he was a little bit nervous getting into the booth, even though he was just doing the shoulder bob and doing the Critical Role thing and the grunts. But I think that's awesome on their part. And Gypsel at the Crossroads, sorry if I'm butchering your name, correct me. you told me to make sure, or you said it would be a good idea to remember all the actors, voice actors' names, especially, good call by the way, because their character names change so often in between campaigns. So I will do that. I do have all the names down for the most part. It's just so much easier. Tell me if you guys are the same way, if you instantly revert to, you probably don't because you're all caught up with the campaigns and there's so many characters like I just mentioned. But just because I've seen only Vox Machina, that's the name I jump to because I know their character more before I knew them as voice actors. So if that makes sense. But so we got Laura, I almost said Keelan, Marisha, Liam, Travis, Matt Mercer, Percy's the hardest, Percy's Tailson, and then Scanlon, Sam Regal. Okay, did I miss somebody? I hope I didn't miss somebody. I think I did, but you guys know I got the names down. What else? There's something I'm forgetting. I'm scrolling through the timeline too. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I'm gonna point it out to you if you did it. Travis, when he's in the studio, listening to Laura record her vocals, he's drinking a Fresca. I just thought that's funny because The Boys just came out last night, and if you're caught up in that, or you know the little joke, you know about Fresca in the show. So I'm gonna be getting to that, reacting to that tonight. So by the way, Travis would be awesome he's not in it. I don't think he is. The tie between Amazon Prime and Vox Machina and The Boys, maybe he could make a guest appearance. I'll kind of flip my shit if he did, but that's enough for this one because I feel like I've been talking for a minute. It's only a 7-minute video. This is probably going to be almost 20. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to jump into the trailer for Exandria Unlimited. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like button. I'll catch you in the next one. Deuces.